All right, looks like we are in business. I'm just checking here, make sure we have a camera. Should be coming up. There it is. Okay. Hey, Sean Darling here. We are sculpting the Caca-dile. You're wondering what in the heck that is. Well, there's a film I'm going to be doing called Caca-dile, and it features a crocodile made out of caca. That's it. All right, cool. So it's a monster. It is a creature, and it's weird. I agree. And we're gonna be sculpting it today in Zbrush. So I'm just gonna jump over there now without any further stuff going on. I'm gonna be down here in the lower left corner, just getting my poop together. And yeah, we're just gonna start here. I've got a microphone next to me, so if I sound weird or the sound goes in and out, I apologize. But I'm just going to be working here in ZBrush on this thing, and hopefully it won't be a horrible experience for anyone. I'm considering turning this light off of my face because that's just a bit bright. So if I look a lot darker, I apologize. It's the silhouette version. There you go. That's my my new icon right there in the lower left corner. Anyway, it's a lot easier for me to see, so hopefully that will be okay with you guys. Perhaps if I move the camera, it will give me a little better lighting because it won't be so backlit. Maybe there. Perfect. Ta-da. So first things first, I'm going to start here kind of with a shape, I think, that because I was thinking about using one of the Zizu shapes, which would basically be like an alligator base mesh, but I don't think that will be the best way to go because then it'll look just like an alligator. And I'd like it to look more, I don't know, creaturey, I guess is the better way to put that. Just get some of this out of the way here. And I'm going to start with just get me it's a default project, I guess, of some kind here. This is going to be completely scratch built, no, what would you call it, base mesh or anything like that. Hopefully all will go well. Nothing is sponsoring this video, but tell you what, that's pretty good stuff. The Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar, and this is the Dr. Pepper Blackberry. Something else about this, something special. Without any further delay, let's go ahead and get going on this guy. So what I'm thinking is he's going to be a bit more of a, and it was said to me earlier, abomination style. He's not a typical creature, like a, all these things in my way are bugging me, like a whatever, an alligator. He's a deformity for sure. So I think I need to just kind of get a body mapped out here. I'm going to zoom out here and just start stretching some stuff around. I'm going to grab my move tool. And where's my move? There we go. And just start yanking some stuff around. Get this size quite a bit bigger. We got our left and right here symmetry. And I'm just seeing him like a kind of with a hunched back kind of thing, So I'm just going to start yanking some of this around. A lot more hunchy. Kind of like a bear would be, So stubby legs, probably, yeah. We'll get him a tail going here in a sec. I just think this back needs to be kind of prominent. Sorry, we're at the restaurant today. You can hear all the clatter in the background. And I am going to have to move this microphone or something. This is starting to really bug. Hopefully you still can hear me okay. Let's see. Let's go down to my geometry. We're going to need to Dynamesh this to start with. The purpose of Dynameshing is just to break up the mesh into a way that you'll see here that can be rebroken up over and over and over. It melds stuff together. Where is my polyfill here? You can see how it's looking. These things are a lot tighter here than they are here. When I Dynamesh it, it evenly distributes all that everywhere. So just going to move some stuff around now. And this is going to be a process here where I figured out, exactly where does this need to go? What does this dude look like? We're going to probably use the inflate a little bit here to not that much. Let's turn our intensity and size down on that and just sort of fatten out the legs a little bit, maybe not that low. There we go. That's going to have a tail. He doesn't have a nice big old like going to the club booty. That's just his tail stump. Let's see. Let's get our move tool a little more. Just want to give him some of those alligator style feet without being too difficult here. I don't want to give him duck feet now or something, so I got to be a little careful here. Also don't want to make him look like some kind of dancing bear kind of thing. All the way and go, what? All right, so this is going to be re-Dynamesh that. Let's get that tail worked out because it's going to be kind of weird looking until I do. Make that a little bigger. And just kind of yank that. And maybe he can use this as a, weapon in some way. Re-Dynamesh that. Start working on its size. We'll get that done here shortly. I don't want him to look like Barney though. It's going to be a big no-no for me. No Barney. Probably bigger, wider shoulders, I think we got going on here. I'm going to get rid of this polyframe for now just so I can see a little better. And I'm just pulling stuff around until I figure out kind of what he's going to be. No idea what the head's going to be at this point. This is the beauty of Dynameshing, is you can do all this in the Dynameshing, during the Dynameshing, and then you don't have to worry about topology or anything. It's a lot like adding extra pieces to it and then melding those together, which you can also do with Dynameshing. But I would say that this is a little more forgiving in certain regards. And if you forget to Dynamesh or wondered if you have, you can always come back here and redo. I turn that polyframe on to make sure I have a good visual of, where things are at. I'm going to now mask the area I know his arms are going to come out of. Then I swap my mask, and now I can enlarge the place that's going to come from, or the tool I'm using. Start moving that around. Undo the mask, and we can check our Dynameshing here and go boop, and it's back to good. And let me zoom in because I'm going to want to bring those kind of forward and down. So we can go back, mask off the area we know that's going to come from. Swap it. Get our mask larger, of course. Figure out the angle it needs to sort of come out from. And I don't mind it looking ugly yet because that's all going to be Dynameshed and so on anyway. So we're going to get rid of the mask, get this a little smaller again for our, bring it forward from there. You got to remember this is monster style, So we need to re-Dynamesh this guy. Can now smooth all that stuff out. Pull these forward. Don't know what he's going to have on the ends for sort of like the hands, but, it'll be something good. Something good. Let me zoom out here. His arms will need work, of course, the knees, etc. And I want to give him a really kind of big, maybe stubbier kind of face. Not so much like a alligator crocodile as much. So I want it to be really kind of, scary. He should be somewhat scary. And still somewhat alligatory, crocodilian, without looking dopey, which he does right now. He looks a bit dopey. That's kind of the beauty of this. And come in here and change every bit of this whenever we can or need to. I'm just experimenting at the moment, so we go in here with my clay buildup now and just kind of test things out. I hope you guys can hear me okay, because I'm speaking away from the microphone a lot. I'm using a different microphone, so I'm just going to check, make sure it still sounds like it's coming through okay. Turn that up just slightly. That way, if I am too quiet, you can still hear it. And let's just see where we're at now. Back to here. I'm just going to start doing a little bit of the muscular buildup on him. Figure out what needs to go where. And yes, you read the title correctly, if you're wondering. I'm sure someone's gonna be like, did he mistype that? Nope. I meant what I said. It's a film that I just had a funny idea, and I've been threatening to make it for a long time. I got another great one too in the possible works that'll have to be animated just because I can't get people to do certain things. Like this one, I mean, I could make a big, crocodile suit, but or crocodile suit, but it would probably stink. Pun intended. No, I'm kidding. Practical is just be a lot more expensive for something that probably isn't going to get an Oscar or anything. I would assume it might. You never know, especially if we get old. I don't know, Jude Law to be in it or some Christopher Walken or something. That's my plan, he said sarcastically. Yeah, I probably couldn't touch. I mean, I could talk to those actors, but I seriously doubt I'm gonna get them in a film like this. Maybe or any film I've done, possible. You never know, is all I'm saying. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna get a smaller brush here and just sort of pop up the old nostrils here in the front, the snout, trying to make it not look like a land shark because that's a different movie. It's already been done. But yeah, just keep working away. It'll eventually look quite a bit more crocodilian. And it won't be this silly. I'm going to open this mouth and get him very, very scary because there's no point to make it if it's just going to be goofy. He says as he puts a really goofy nose on it. I do want it scary. Right now he looks like he's smiling. Get rid of that. I'm just trying to map out, what's going where more than anything. So Let's just mask off and get some actual hands coming through of some kind. So I'm just going to do like so. Hands, claws, whatever you want to call them. And pull out a kind of like a hand stump here. Let me undo that and grab my move brush. Sort of pull that forward. The direction you pull it in makes a difference, especially when you got it masked off there. Go back, re-dynamesh that. Looking okay. I know it's silly, but it won't be this silly. That's the plan. So mask off some claw, finger areas, maybe just 3. And we're going to redo that and then swap. And now we're going to grab our move tool, pull these out. If you ever wonder how that was done, well, that's how. And we'll come back in here with our inflate. Try to be at really low intensity and just kind of puff up these fingers a little bit so we're not losing their volume. I may make those longer, probably, just for the sake of not also losing them when I dynamesh. Moving them around slightly. They need to be able to at least rip some faces off or something, That's the intention. And just re-dynamesh those. We can come back in and just keep sculpting away like a mother. And I realize it's absolutely silly concept, but that's kind of its point, but also to be a tongue-in-cheek kind of horror movie. It's like it's animated, but it's realistically animated ish, and it's got that sort of Evil Dead sarcasm. Think Sam Raimi kind of a vibe. That's its whole point. So just kind of gonna come in and carve some of those webs down a little, trying to get a vibe, make him less poofy. This is the part that's cool. It's easy, it's fun, but kind of takes a minute to really get like, well, what am I trying to do here, Maybe not so fat in the arms. It's easy enough to start shaving those back some. So I want him to be, mobile enough. He can get around and be scary. He can kill people. But also, I want him to be somewhat unwieldy, but at the same time not like a detriment to himself, just from his size and shape. Let's see, let's just frame him up a little bit more. It's okay. I want to make sure he can grab people. I want him to make sure he's actually somewhat scary. He couldn't really run, I wouldn't think. So maybe if we made the legs a little less dopey, because I realize he is pretty dopey right now, but looks like a mascot. Maybe if I mask the center of these legs and then pull them forward to make knees, to give him some ability to run or something, make him a little more scary in the sense of he can get you. Gonna do some of that maybe. I'm just experimenting at this point, This is in no way anywhere near close to the design I will settle on probably. It's, we're finding it, figuring it out. Some of you are thinking, well, thank God for that. Now I'm just pushing clay right now to find what we're getting at. I'm wondering if he should have clompy feet, because they might be kind of cool that they are clompy. I'm just wondering, how does he get in and out of the sewer? How does he run away? So the cops or the zoo or whoever, the poop police, can't get him. Just trying to figure, what would make the most sense practically, and what's a crappy idea. Oh, I didn't mean that. Yes, I did. If he's got kind of elephanty kind of feet or legs coming down. I mean, he's a misshapen character. You know what I mean? He started out as a crocodile, and then he's now made of poop. So there's that. Let's see. What if we did kind of puff out a lot of this clumpy? Maybe even cut down, some of that. Let's see. I'm going to go back and forth on this for days. Hopefully not. Just trying to figure out what is he. It's kind of got a Godzilla thing in it. You don't really want that. I think what did it was these knees. Could undo. See how far back I got to go. Just take those knees completely out, because I'm not feeling that. I mean, yeah, it would give him a little more mobility, but is that really a Caca-dile thing to do? Or is that just a crappy idea? I'm so clever. Let's just fix that here. There we go. And maybe just make the entire stalk of his leg thicker or something. I'm not quite sure about it yet. So maybe I'll wait on that just a little bit and get more back into the arm here. And I'm thinking maybe not make him so poofy. Give him a little more muscle. Poor guy. Looks like he just ate 6 pounds of cookies. I've done that. And, give him a little more in shape feeling. I'm not sure if we give him musculature, like a dude, like this kind of thing. Or if that's going to be a little too superhero. I mean, he's a creature, so I'm almost thinking, he just needs to be more as creaturey as creatures can get. Let's give him some eyeballs at least. Whoops. Just going to core out the skull there, somewhere around where his eyes might be. Start kind of giving him a bit more of a snout. My cat is yelling at me from the background. I don't know why. What's wrong? What's wrong with you, huh? She out of food? You just start pulling this around. I think that's a bit better. This is a little overly hippo. It's a little smaller. Let me know if you guys are watching, what you think. I like the interaction, so feel free to pipe in, say hello. I'm just making stuff up as I go. And you start off as a crocodile, and now we got this weird abomination kind of situation here. I'm trying to sort it out before I open his mouth, because it will kind of commit me to some stuff. Just trying to figure out if I'm making a mistake by making him upright at this point now. He does look a bit like a dumb dude in a suit. Smaller head. No, like I said, he'll look like a guy with a alligator head. True. You know what? Let's try the Zizou. I'm just gonna axe this, and let's go into the Zizou and see on like an alligator. I know we have one right here. No, we'll just scrap the whole thing, and we'll start with this. But then I'm gonna reposition it because I think that's gonna be more along the lines of what I'm trying to do. That's my feelings on the matter. It's going to let me move that center ball. Doesn't really want to let me move that. It's going to use this as its root point. So I'm going to pull that down. I'm also going to undo any movement we've done because I'd like to make this mirrored, of course, which I think we now are, which I think we were, but I just want to be careful. I'm going to grab this and pull it down, this and pull it up. This is the cool thing about this Zizou is that we can come in here and pretty quickly flesh out an animal because we have the like a base mesh for it, which I do not mind at all when they cooperate, that is. Let's see what we can get more of that bend that I'm looking for. From the side, I think that's okay. I'm trying to keep my symmetry going. So I'm going to give this a little bend. See what we can get away with bend-wise on everything. I want him to be able to be menacing without stupid. It's pretty stupid, though. Let's see what's going to let me turn what. There we go. Let's get the hands in a better position here. Maybe a little more up that way. Looks like he's dancing. A little bit of Thriller going on. I might have to rework these hands just so he can actually grab something. But then again, it's kind of funny that some of the screen kills will be on screen, and some of them, of course, will be. You're just gonna have to imagine how the heck he made it happen. But kind of cool. It's silly, like I said. Very. Let's get this down. We're gonna do all the support, obviously, in that tail. Let's get these better, like so. It's pretty funny. Okay, and I think that's gonna work. Let's get his mouth open if we can. If it's going to let me, yeah. Because all this is going to make a pretty significant difference to what we can do with that when the time comes. Okay, I think that'll work for the overall thing. Now to get out of here, I'm going to have to go and take this and turn it into I think, a adaptive skin. And we just use that and make it. And then I think I can come back and grab the full skin here and we can start sculpting on that. So absolutely crazy how this stuff works. I will always feel that way. And more than likely, I probably should have done a unified skin, I think, because I don't know that that can even work. So I will go back, though, and I will do, I'll just use Dynamesh on this. So now I can come in here and smooth everything. Supposedly, let's just up our resolution quite a bit first. Do another Dynamesh, and then I can... what's going on, dude? Still seeing these as separate objects, I think, which is not ideal. So let me go and re-Dynamesh this. There we go. Now we can just come in and smooth everything as it needs to be. Just going to kind of work my way around to making him look like one object here. We'll worry about the face in a minute. Let's get this. Legs, trying to be somewhat gentle. I'm going to pull my intensity down a bit because I don't want to destroy any of the shapes by accident. Because I'm in a hurry, you know. So I'm just letting this helping me create a base mesh now that I said I wasn't going to use, but yeah, just wasn't finding what I was looking for straight out of the gate with what I was throwing down. I don't think I'll edit that part of the video out. I think it's kind of cool to see that, you know, I tried this and now I'm going to try this. So once this is relatively smooth, I'm going to come in here with this big Muppet head. And I'm going to move that lower jaw, for one, back some. Also going to mask the top jaw. Sounds like an Indian tribe in Oklahoma, Choctaw. And I'm going to now take this, which I am part of, by the way, and just sort of pull this back a bit because I think it was a little too bad. Go ahead and undo that. That's better. Obviously not the width, though. Can, of course, smooth any of this out. I'm going to move the intensity down again and my size. Judge me by my size deal. And once that is okay, and start figuring out what needs to go where and how. Just to make him a little less goofy, I guess, right? So maybe I'm going to grab this clay buildup and sort of start chopping away at just some of this. We can't have him looking totally stupid. Re-Dynameshing and smoothing and whatever it's going to take. That Dynameshing, you know, when you use it, as long as you use it correctly and use it kind of off the you know, right off the bat, can really help you as you go. You don't want to use it later because it'll kill all your detail and everything else. So, but in the beginning, I used it a lot. So I'm just kind of getting his overall shape, redynameshing to kind of clean everything up, chopping crap out that shouldn't be here. Don't be afraid to be aggressive. Just make sure you don't ruin your dude, whatever it is you're sculpting. All right, so with that kind of knocked out a little, we can, kind of outline some stuff with the damn standard here, figure out, well, what goes here. Let me get rid of that. I actually did that wrong. Something along those lines. Start coring out the mouth a little bit, getting in some of the shapes that may or may not be in there. Redynameshing is needed. Yeah, I just like to play. I typically sculpt really fast also, just because my arms get tired of holding them up sometimes, and I just get bored. Not that I'm not enjoying it, but I like to see stuff move along quickly. That's what I'm used to. I'm used to working. You'll see me dynamesh and dynamesh and dynamesh thousands of times to go through trying to figure out where it goes. Hopefully not where it went wrong. Okay, so something along there. I'm going to probably... I don't want to get it so much built into what I've got that I can't change it. So right now I'm just kind of chopping out a shape, My cat's really annoyed. Did she have food? So I'm just kind of making kind of a lip line, I guess, in a way. Figuring out what may be happening where. He is a mutated dude, so I'm not horribly worried about making it exactly like a crocodile. I am going to put some teeth in here, make some preliminary kind of sockets here, I guess. I'm just sketching, just working the idea. Socket here, maybe here. So that close up to about there, and on and on. Looks a bit like a horse nose. I'll probably wind up chopping away at this quite a bit because that's not what we're going for. So I'll start maybe flattening some of this out. I'll chop away and then I'll dynamesh and then I'll chop away some more and smooth. And if my smoothing feels like it's not doing the job right, either I can turn up the intensity a lot, which is helpful here, or I can go and change my dynamesh resolution, redynamesh it at a lower resolution so that it will affect more, as I go. Not exactly what I'm wanting, but it's working. Kind of chop into some of this. Kind of try and get rid of some of this. I don't really know that I like all that. It's got a bit of a dinosaur vibe, which is, expected, I guess. It's a crocodile type character. I mean, I like the silliness of it. I just have to be careful the balance of silly to stupid to scary. I think these eyes might be too far back, but this is going to make a huge difference. So I need to be careful, where they go. So all right, so let's just kind of mess around until I figure out something that feels right. So more sideways makes him scarier. Less human-like too. It's a little dragonness going. Just going to puff these up slightly. It's getting a little silly now. Gotta be careful. I probably will go back and find some. I'll get a reference because it's starting to get this sort of 6-year-old made a dragon look. If that makes sense, which we don't want. And I have these sort of typical go-to things that I do. This I'm really trying to fight a lot of the times when I make stuff. So it's so easy to want to make this dude into a dragon, but I don't want to do that. That's not what he is. I want him scary, but not as stupid as he could be either, which that's a real easy thing for me to wind up doing too. I just want to make him funny, but it's supposed to be funny, but not like outwardly funny. It's got to be one of those jokes that you get it or you don't. And that's not kind of going to come from Three Stooges humor. All right, let's extend his fingers out. And probably the safest way to do that is going to be to mask them off. That's how I recommend it. Swap the mask out. And of course, pull the finger out to be longer. And now we can just mask the end here. Swap that out. And I'm going to rotate just this piece. I'm going to unlock that so I can reposition this. Just something if you've not seen, you're like, oh my gosh, you just changed my entire life by showing me that. I hope that's true. Trying to get this, there we go, no, into this position. And from the side now, I'm going to move this guy, which yes, you can do. And I'm going to rotate that and relock it. And now when I rotate it, it will rotate based on where I had that thing, that manipulator. Before I do it, I do want to Dynamesh and remask that area. So I'm just going to go from the side again here and away from that and go back to draw. And I'm going to want to remask this section of the finger, which is a much finer resolution even on the mask, as you can tell. Swap the mask out, and now could blur, tapping, that's too much. And so now I'm just going to go in here with the rotate again and actually bend it here and then move it. This gizmo there, bend it, and move it. So we have more of a finger-like bend, rotation, etc. So good to go. Done. And re-dynamesh that. And then we just want to do that to multiple fingers. So as much as that might seem like a pain, totally worth it. It's probably the easiest way to go about doing this. We could grab the entire finger end. That'd probably be a little better. Just pull the whole thing out. Swap that out, grab the move, make it larger. Okay. And this time I'm going to try and make the final length of the finger. And then now I need to re-dynamesh that, of course, and then mask just the end, but that's a little too much. So let's just go ahead and go to a good amount. Make sure we get the inside and outside of that. And then I'll swap. We need to do our rotate again, but we need to hold control and snap it to here. Unlock it to get it positioned correctly. Relock it. So you can see it works really well. I'm not trying to put final bends in these. This is just to give it the positioning and shape of the that hand shape, when it's grasping. So you get the idea. Cool. Let's go ahead and just frame this out for now. See where we're at. Not too bad. It's going to look a lot better once we get a hand sculpted out and so forth, but I think that's coming along. All right, cool. Well, that's all I've got going on for the moment. Wanted to show you guys. Appreciate you guys watching. Come back again and try to see what's going on, and we'll talk to you guys soon.